Oh, want to text Donovan and tell him we're over here.
You know,
Oh, he does.
Dr. Dog.
Yeah, that's what I have to share them on my network, but whenever you want to do that, I mean, I could back to where I saw it over check, it's like, hey, what's going on, what's going on, it's like, trying to get Brooks to like. So I told you. Here's your name, so you gotta go by sharing. Makes sense, but I'll look at the 45 tomorrow.
If we can avoid that, we should.
I know, we just need to get that property closed so they can start construction.
Exactly.
Right. You just get some of the different existing water tower, we got that past 30.
Yes.
But
again.
Here he is.
Anyways, that's another one that I.
It's not.
Well, sometimes it's 45. Yes, I don't sure. Like triggering events or something has to happen.
No, I
was
was
trying to transfer to actually occur. In 2002, Cedar Rapids, they were basically some company saying, hey, we want water. Then it's.
One other thing is.
I'm sorry. Well. I thought about that. I know.
We'll talk.
Sorry. All that didn't work, you know, all that.
And you got my name wrong, my title wrong. You didn't put mayor. You're good. I think we'll keep it.
Might as well.
We're gonna have this little thing blocking home like that. I know, right? Down here. Aren't you supposed to have that call?
No, I was saving that for. Other members of council.
I gotta be there.
She's gotta be by a plug. There's a plug right here.
I have to stay close to Jason, make sure he doesn't spend any more of your money.
Too late. All right, let's,
Leave him alone, he's doing a good job. Leave him alone.
and money that you get.
I see that.
She's on the city hall, right? Well, that's all right. Yeah, I can message your comments. All right, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Council study session. Will you please rise for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The chairs wheel really well, so be careful.
Yeah.
Can I remind everybody to silence their phones? I will do the same. Joe, give a roll call.
Councilmember Williams.
Present.
Reed. Stewart.
Here.
Ross.
Here.
Davis. Brent.
Here.
And Mayor.
Right, so we have a number of things to talk about this afternoon. Almost $189,000 purchase for a large dump truck, plow truck. Call Jason or our city manager to the floor.
Agenda packet tonight. One of the things under the item is descriptions of public works equipment. we're inviting our DPW Director, Jason Kern, to address your honor on some of these purchases.
Stand or what?
No, you're fine.
So let me. These dump trucks. So in the fleet, they had a 98, 2000, 2011. And I think there was a 95 in there. Out of those dump trucks, new was a 2011. The other ones they bought were used from Marshall. A used motor out of a school bus that was the wrong size. And when they put it in, so they had to buy a turbocharger in it just to get it to move down the road. Council approved me ordering 2 dump trucks. We thought those were a year. Last week, we were told they're 16 months out. So we don't pay for this now, we pay for it in 2026. I went to Director Clark, I told him if we purchase it or order it tomorrow, won't be ready until they're saying 2026. And so I asked them about it. We had already talked about that we'd be staggering the purchases. This is just coming a little bit early because. So that's why I would like to place the order now. So hopefully in this, we can go ahead and have 3 dump trucks. What happened this last time we had, right now we have 2 old dump trucks. Those are the orange ones you see rolling around town. And then we have the 2, got those for free. We outfitted them with a blade on the bottom, underneath in the middle. Do that. And they have the salters that are on the back. Those salters are anywhere from 8 to 10 years old. I was not planning on replacing those salters at all. We thought they're doing okay. Theme that we have been dealing with was a historical lack of maintenance. So when our guys go out and they do snow plowing, regardless of what the piece of a special silicone spray before it goes out, and then every single time they Kubota tractors, the dump trucks, they all get hosed off, washed off, and well seen out anymore. Getting back to it, the 2 salt back, both of them back working again, they're not going to make it through this next winter. Work out, get prices on, work with Finance Director Clark on. Same with this. The new trucks will be due that we're going to finance like he did with this street. We do in November. We're scheduled to take possession of those 2 trucks. And this year he'll finance this one as well, depending on the interest rates. And so that's why.
Questions?
Excuse me. I have a question. What, I guess, in 2024, there was money authorized for 2. That order's been delayed so far that we just have to really make.
There are 12 months when we placed it in July. And now they told us we're not getting it until about November.
Okay. So we are.
Scheduled to get 2 new trucks this year. In November. This will be replaced 6, late summer, early fall of 2026. So it gives us 3.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
Jason,
Yes.
okay, all right, I was looking at the picture, I didn't notice it, that was the only question.
Underneath the truck, that works the best, and the road is bad. The 2 that we just ordered back in July, front as well, just in case we get a heavy snow. Do we have buyers for the 4 that we're gonna dump?
So when I first took over in of 23, was helping out Public Works. We took 2 trucks out of service. The hydraulic piston that pushes the bed up punched right through the bed. And he couldn't even find enough metal to weld to. The other one, so that truck. The other one, the frame is rusted out so. As public safety, I was like, this is not going down the road. It is completely unsafe. And the guy said 25 miles an hour, so it shakes so bad. So I said, that's good. And so scrap. I have 2 that are gonna be scrapped. The other 2 that are currently in service, I'm sure someone will probably pick them up. I don't know for how much.
Will we be able to get through the rest of this winter?
Yes, is what we have.
Okay.
Yes. But next winter, hopefully we'll have the 2 new trucks online, and I am gonna have to replace the salters on the back. I don't know what that is. I'm estimating probably about 10 to 15,000 a piece.
Anything else? Okay. Next is the 3 Ram truck pickups replacement.
So this is our standard enterprise program lease that we have. All the white trucks that you see out on the road are all leased through enterprise. We were doing 2-year leases. Right now, the best way to do it and for the best bang for our buck is to keep them for 5 years. That's what enterprise is telling us. So far, the last, if you guys remember that council approved me doing 3 new trucks at the end of last year, September, October, somewhere around there. With the ones we traded in, we were able to get $26,000 in equity for the 3 that we traded in, which will then go towards our overall. 3 trucks right now. I went with Ram, Chevy, and Ford. Ram right now is offering the best incentives for government purchases or government lease. By replacing, I have 3 Fords that are coming due right now. To replace those 3/4 tons with 1 ton, $65 a month by switching out to the newer trucks. And these are 4-door later on when we go to trade those back in. So I'm just basically taking the 3 that we switching them out for 3 Ram 1-ton trucks.
Can we buy? Oh, sorry. No, you please.
The money and can afford to get it, because I have heard less complaints. Not my street, but in my community, that in precinct 2, I've had a lot less complaints about my street hasn't been cleaned. And so if we get the necessary things to clean them and do them with, if we have the money to afford it, I'd rather have that than have my people complaining.
Because these are not police vehicles, can we buy them locally, or is there a fleet price that we're getting through?
This is all through a fleet price. It's all through the state bid price.
Okay.
I've tried having other dealerships work with a state bid price. It's quite a lot of paperwork for a dealership to fill out.
Okay.
There's only very few across the state that do it.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
So this is a discussion item and it's not the direct item. But you had alluded earlier to having tracking mechanisms in there and maybe at some point citizenry be able to go online and see where the trucks are. What is the status of that in relationship to the new purchases?
So that would be more for the plow trucks. And so what that'll do, it actually goes off the tablet itself. Each plow truck driver will have a designated route. It's a turn-by-turn route. The county's gone to this and a lot of other municipalities. It's cut down on the amount of plow time, and it gives the citizens the ability to log in, like our website. It's about a half hour delay, 20 minutes, and they'll be able to see all the routes that have already been plowed. we're also doing it for fuel consumption as well. And so that will be, any vehicle that could be out doing whatever will all be through the tablet itself, not just attached to a certain vehicle.
Any other questions?
Okay. Item C is approve up to 120 grand for City Hall elevator repair and upgrade.
So this one's bad.
Yeah.
So Otis has been out several times over the last few months to try to fix the elevator. In talking with Clerk Domingo, the only guess that we have is that elevator was installed around in the 70s. That's what we're thinking. There's been no major upgrades to that whatsoever compared to this. What actually has gone out is the control board that sits on top of the elevator. And when the repairman showed me the control board, it actually has tubes that heat up that are on top of this thing, just like an old television. Nobody has that board anymore, anywhere at all. They can't find it. It's done. The cart or the box itself and the rails and the hydraulic cylinder that makes it go up and down are in great shape. That does not need to be replaced. However, all of the components on top of the elevator, all the electronics, every button, the display screen above each floor, and all of the hydraulic pumps and everything, and the electronics in the control room, all have to be redone. There's also several codes that we're not in compliance with currently, especially ADA codes, because there's no rail, there's quite a bit of things that we're not up to this code on. In 2028, these codes are going to be absolutely mandatory. So even if we did do anything now, we would still, and that elevator was running, we would still have to redo all of this in 2028. So I talked to Finance Director Clark. I went to him, showed him everything. His recommendation is we take this out of fund balance or reserves. This was not a budgeted item. Like the trucks and all this was budgeted before. This is not, and this is a pretty big purchase, pretty big repair. The estimate was for 114,000. I'm asking for 120 just in case we run into a couple incidentals here and there. Hopefully it's 114 and we're good. But you kind of know how things go. So that's why I was asking to be authorized to go up to 120 on this repair.
Any questions? Yeah. I noticed here that it's gonna be another 12 to 18 weeks to get it fixed after the order.
It is.
They're
So I asked them how fast I can somehow expedite this. If we make the ACH deposit tomorrow, they will get on ordering everything tomorrow and try to put a rush on it since it's our only elevator we have. He said, but they'll try to trim it to the 12 weeks, but it's not a guarantee. Just because they're gonna have to order literally everything, put it all together before they can install it.
And again, this is why we're meeting here at this locale. The college was kind enough to allow us to utilize this space for free, and we're grateful to them for that. But because our city hall meeting chambers, council chambers are located on the second floor, we do have to accommodate according to the American Disabilities Act, and that is why we're meeting here at this location. So the urgency to get this repaired, I think is imperative. You know, we have a beautiful city hall. It's a wonderful city hall and will last hopefully a lot longer. The problem is, as Jason had explained, the technology has not lent itself very kind over the years. And when you have vacuum tubes, it's time to replace. So, and we do want to accommodate the public. So.
Yeah, another question about the repair company. I see here in the literature that Otis is the company that provided the elevator. You said, what, almost 50 years ago now?
Yes.
Are there other companies that do the same kind of work? that we
There
look at?
are, but then you have to change out, my understanding, you have to change out
Everything.
the whole elevator system.
Okay.
It's kind of proprietary. So if you're with Otis, you have to stay with Otis or authorized repair company. It's Schneider or Schindler.
Schindler.
Is the other one where it's their company or.
And this is a guess, but if you have to change out the box, now you're talking about doing structural changes to the building and the shaft, and you're probably talking maybe 2 or 3 times more money.
I understand that. Okay, just curious.
Anybody else? All right, city manager discussion.
This isn't about me.
No, but it's about your replacement.
This is something that, in our regular meeting that we will talk about. We'll go over, not in specific with names because of confidentiality agreements, but we will get we'll have a discussion on how council feels they want to proceed, and we'll direct the current city administration to schedule meetings, interviews, and work with our city clerk to get such scheduled. So that will take place during our regular meeting.
We need to discuss the appointment of Jim Stewart to the Recreation Advisory Commission, or we can save that for the regular meeting, given the interest of time.
Sure.
Objection. We need to approve $38.7 thousand for the jet truck repair.
So this is our jet truck. This is a big blue and white truck that's got a huge suction tube on the front of it that you may have seen go through town. Deals with our sewer system and our storm system. We also use it on a lot of various jobs like digs. And so it went in for routine maintenance. Every year it goes in. And gets gone through a company, Jack Doheny company over in Northville. So we sent it in for routine maintenance, usually a few $1,000s. They called us up. They said, hey, got a couple more things wrong with it than you thought. Started going through it. It came out to one bid was 18,000 for one part of it, and they kept fixing it. So, okay, you got a pump that's really bad on it that needs to be fixed as well. And so it came out to about $38,000. This machine to replace this truck is gonna cost about $600,000 as an average. On top of it, we use this truck quite a bit. Anytime there's a water main break, we had one on Super Bowl Sunday. We had to have Marshall come over because our truck was getting repairs. Marshall's been great. They mobilized to come over with 2 guys, no questions asked. They were there to help us out on the water main break on Clark Street. And then they came again over on North Eaton Street. We had to have our truck and their jet truck for that 12-inch main was flowing so much water. And some of our valves had broke to shut that off. It took both trucks running at full speed just to get the water pressure down enough for the guys to get a clamp on it. And so this truck is utilized quite a bit, not just for by the sewer department, but also the street department, water department, so on. So
Any questions? Okay, and then we want to buy a pickup truck for you.
okay, so the blue Ram that I drive belongs to public safety. It's actually a police model truck. It has center console in it, radio, siren. It's got blue and white or blue and red lights in it. That vehicle will end up going back to public safety. Public safety, right now, Lieutenant Timmons is driving a 2017 Ford Explorer. That vehicle is going to be stripped down, and City Hall currently does not have any vehicles whatsoever. So if council needs to go to training, any of our staff needs to go to training, they all have to drive their own vehicle. The plan is to take the 2017 Ford Explorer, put it back to a civilian with a backseat, like a civilian model, and then have that for City Hall purposes, because right now there is nothing. My truck will then go to Lieutenant Timmons, and then this truck, when I met with Director Clark, will come out of all the different funds, will help pay for this. So it's not just street department paying for it, water department paying for it. The other thing is that only pickups that we own, one's a 1986 that we got from the military for free. The other one, 2 of them are 3 of them are 2000 Chevy pickups that we got from the military for free. Those 4 trucks are diesels. The ones the city has actually bought are 2 2009s and a 2010. I've had to do some restoration work to them to get them back up to speed. The seats were gone, beds are rusted out of them. Those are the ones that you'll see driving down the road. They have the flatbeds on them with the black toolboxes. So what the plan is, we slowly need to start getting rid of those trucks as well. They have well over 100,000 miles on them. And so I'll take this truck, I will drive it, and then in probably in about 2 years, we'll start pushing out the other trucks. I'd like to get on a 2 to 3 year rotation basis to start slowly replacing these 2009s and 2010s. The 2000 models that we actually bought arrow sticks, and you'll see them when they're on with the patcher unit. So actually have an arrow stick that sticks above the cab, and above the patcher unit, so all the traffic coming up behind it can see the directional stick, showing them which way to go. And so that's why we've hired so many people, and we actually, to the point where the street department is gonna have 2 foremen that have 4-man crews, and we're actually assigning everyone to a district. So every district, just like we had on the police side, there's 4 districts of the city. Each district will have two guys in a truck are gonna be responsible for just that district. And so with all this manpower we've hired, I could use a bicycle, but I might not get around too long. So
Might get a deal on some Segways.
I don't know if our insurance company lets us.
Any questions?
Yes. So are you saying that if we want to go to MML or one of the conferences, we can drive the truck?
Truck? That would make this Ford Explorer really nice.
I think he's saying that we get to drive ourselves.
In the interest of time, I want to give our audience a chance to ask questions or make comments. Persons addressing the council.
Sure.
Absolutely. Good evening, everybody. Gary Tompkins, your County Commissioner. It's great to be with you folks again. Real quickly, I don't know if I'm stealing thunder, but I just want to congratulate Mr. Phipps on his new position. Certainly, congratulations, sir. Thank you. Absolutely, very well deserved. Just real quickly, as far as it relates to what's going on at the county right now, we just were given our committee appointments. I'll be serving on the Senior Millage Allocation Committee like I did before. Also, too, I'll be on the Commissioner's Budget Committee as well. So we'll be evaluating the budget on a yearly basis. The Broadband Task Force, you know, many people are looking at broadband across all county, making sure that it's accessible to everybody. I'll be on that one as well. And then finally, just real quickly, the Fair Board as well. Many people do enjoy the fair, and it's always an opportunity for me to branch out there as well. You know, as I'm sitting here listening to you folks talk, I'm going to go into my newsletter. Most of you, if you're interested in my newsletter and you don't get it, take advantage of the opportunity because it gives you an opportunity to know what's going on in Calhoun County and our district particularly. But as I'm sitting here and I'm listening to what many cities in the state of Michigan are doing is trying to do the best they can with what they have and trying to improve little by little. And we talk about the roads, which has always been our big issue and always will continue to be our issue. I find it interesting though that you notice that the policies that are being thrown out at the state right now, we're going to move money around, we want to do this, we want to do that, but nobody is willing to take the opportunity to change fundamentally the mechanism by which you all are funded on. Currently right now, based on what you're doing, you're trying the best you can to buy this, buy that, and to keep things going in your city the best you can. But there seems to be no help at the state level to do that. And until they get themselves together and really take an opportunity to look at what's going on in terms of what that funding mechanism is. You know, 6 years ago, I put out a plan. You guys, many of you might remember that. I put out a plan 6 years ago to give Albion another $1 million worth of road funding. Fell on deaf ears. Nobody wanted to talk about it because I was told 2 things. Either it was too hard or it's so hard, we might make it worse than what it is. I think when you elect your leaders, your state leaders, you expect them to go to the state and solve problems, not be scared or running away from those problems.
So again, I won't get into that, but that's been on my, that's been me for the last 9, 10 years, and I will continue to do that, and I will continue to advocate certainly on the city of Alvin's behalf to get the roads done, because you guys, you're like everybody else in the state of Michigan, we're struggling, and we need to do something as a matter, rather than just talking about it, we need to do something about it. So again, my newsletter, if anybody's interested, I do have cards here with my newsletter email address on the back, if you're interested in subscribing to it, real quickly, and I'll just leave you guys at that, because I know you're stressed for time, but thank you all very much.
Thanks.
Always enjoy being with you guys. If you ever need me, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we've got 3 minutes. So let's adjourn our, unless you want to say anything now, or you'll wait? Okay. Anybody from council want to make any final statements before we adjourn the study session? All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We stand adjourned. Don't go far. We'll be reconvening in 3 minutes.